Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here. As y'all can see by the title of today's video, we're here to talk about why I made my big man a point guard instead of a center in NBA 2K21. So, for those who are new to the channel, we got a lot to unravel. We're going to get to that right away. If you enjoy the video, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on the noties, all that good stuff. Let's try 1 to 1K likes in the first 24 hours. So we're going to start this video off with introducing anybody who's new to the channel or specifically new to the build, what this build is so great at and what it provides as far as me being a big man in 2K21. Now you can see the details on it. I'm 6'7", 225 pounds. You're going to go ahead and see the strength. I mean, we're over here with literally only 67 strength, 94 speed, 92 acceleration, 86 vertical, and then a quick look at the attributes. We got 92 driving dunk, 96 standing dunk, 70 ball control. This would be crazy if it was only 70 ball control that you needed for the pro dribble moves, but we all know that's to 80 now, started the year at 85. You can see I got 96 perimeter defense and lateral quickness, 98 steal, at 99 overall, that's 99 steal. So, a lot of people see this 75 interior defense and 86 block and 67 strength, and just the fact that I'm only 225 on the weight, 6'7" on the height, and just instantly assume you're gonna get bodied, you're gonna get dominated by all types of tall bigs. Now, while that is true when it comes to the post scores, because we all know 6'7", you can't just guard post scores shot contesting wise, but you can get the steals. We'll talk about that a little bit later in the video. Anyway, my whole point is I got so many people commenting on the video talking about, oh, if I ever played you with my 6'10" pure red, you'd get snagged on, you'd get horsed. Okay, what are you doing? Are you stepping up in the picks, guarding my point guard, switching on to him? No, you're slow. You're not going to guard him. It's as simple as that. And then when you just sit there and camp in the paint all day, your point guard or your lockdown absolutely hates you because you're playing zero help defense. You bring nothing to the table as far as lateral quickness, speed, and honestly, the speed alone helps you get around the box outs. These tall bigs, they have no clue what to do when you just run right by them. Boom, secure the box out just like that. I'm going from setting my point guard screens to getting the O boards and boxing you out and jumping over him. So now that we have the rant over a little bit, let's talk about why I actually made this build a point guard instead of a center, because clearly you can make this build at 6'7" at a different position. I don't think you can make it at center at 6'7". I do believe, however, you could make it at 6'8". If not, again, you can make it a power forward, small forward, whatever it may be. But truth be told, the only reason that I feel like you should ever even do that in the first place, or why you only would do that in the first place, is because you have some old head mentality where you strictly want to line up at a taller position when you don't even need to do that. So being at point guard for me at 6'7" or 6'8", doesn't even matter. If you want to go 6'8" with this build, like I said at the beginning of creating my build in 2K21, point guard is going to move with this because you can get gold dimer and gold floor general. This is huge for your teammates. Whether you're catching the ball on the pick and roll and you're kicking over to the corner or kicking back out to your point guard or anywhere where you're grabbing the offensive rebound, kicking out to a teammate and they're going to shoot the ball, gold dimer going to be super important. And there's very few inside bigs that can say that they have this. And then with floor general, my point guard doesn't need to run it and my lockdown doesn't need to run it or anything like that. Or for 2v2, my point guard is going to benefit off this as well. And just like that, he gets +3 on all of his offensive ratings. Super huge improvement for the fact that I don't even need too many playmaking badges to possess on my own. And then one thing we should talk about as well is I don't have to upgrade post moves to get my playmaking badges. I can do actual important things in my eyes like pass accuracy and ball handling and then still get 10 playmaking badges. And then for anybody who's curious, here's a look at the stats. Now you can see I've played over 250 stage games in 2K21. Clearly that resonates to your 2K beach record as well. So just go ahead and do the math on it if you really care that much. I really don't care in the first place. And I've even played with IRLs like consistently in this game when it comes to the 2K beach or whatever. And then you can see the 3v3 Pro-Am was at the beginning of the year. Now, at the beginning of the year, there's a lot of people making those tall pure reds and stuff like that, right? And I'm over here 6'7", everybody's missing constantly. I'm averaging 10 rebounds per game in the first place, bro. Now, I will say one thing that stands out on this is the fact that I only have like 0.25 or 0.27 on the blocks per game. Let's explain that first of all. Like I said, I play in the stage. It's very rare that somebody's going to take up a bad shot in the first place. Really, the only times I'm getting the blocks are on chase downs on the point guards or the rare occasion that a big man's going to go up with a shot down low and I'm able to just slap the ball. But either way, again, I'm not just having people just put up stupid layups on me and I'm getting easy blocks from those. So that's my explanation on why their blocks are a little bit low. And honestly, I feel like the rebounds could be so much higher if my teammates or my opponents even miss shots anymore. But again, really nobody misses with these play shots anymore. And that's why the rebounds are really more so around like the 4. I do not struggle to rebound in the first place. I haven't even touched my badges in a long time. But I can promise you that box and rebound chaser are going to be on bronze. As you can see, Don't even care. Don't need them that high. It's simple. It's as easy as that. Now on to the second topic of what I gained from being a point guard rather than a center is going to be the contact dunks. So this is all up to personal preference. You might want the big man contact dunks rather than the small contact dunks, but me personally, for being 6'7", undersized big, I'm gonna have the ball in my hand sometimes like that. And again, this is gonna be super important for the style that I play. If I ever want to ISO and I'm gonna take the ball and slash as a point guard, like I said, the gold dimer and the gold floor general are going to benefit my teammate tremendously. And then on top of that, like I said, I would like the small contact dunks just for the sake of the driving purpose. All right, so as we close this video out, I'm going to go from start to finish, show you guys how to make the point guard big man build. If you want to check this out, feel free to. And for all the haters and doubters out there who question the way that I make my bigs and the way that I play and stuff like that, listen, man, I've been playing as an undersized big for literally like 4 or 5 years now, all the way back to 2K17. I was a 7-foot athletic, which now sounds super tall, but back then everybody was making 7-foot threes. All the way into 2K19, people were still making 7-foot threes. So in 2K18 and 19, I was still on 6'11s. Last year in 2K20, I was on a 6'9". Now this year, I'm out here on a 6'7". And the truth behind all of this, again, and I really should stress this, is mobility and perimeter defense is so much more important to me on this 3v3 stuff than height and size and whatever comes with that in the first place. Blockability, rebounding. If you want to say it helps your rebounding to be tall, I personally feel like being shorter is an advantage in the rebound game because it helps me secure a lot more rebounds than I'd be able to get to if I were taller and I don't have the speed to get to. I would suck. I would be awful on a 7'3" pure glass. Like, I'd be horrible on that build. So again, you're going to make the point guard build. You're going to go with the pure red pie chart. I decided to go with pure speed on this, but if you want to go speed and vert, you can do by all means as well. Again, if you feel like the height is something you need vertical to overcome, that's perfectly fine. I'm going to tell you guys straight up, I do perfectly fine when it comes to the rebounding anyway. I don't need extra vertical. However, it would be nice to kind of try this out sometime and go ahead and experience this. But at 6'7", with the 97 speed that I have, I believe, or even 96, whatever it is, I have the ability to quote-unquote speed boost with the ball in my hand. But the thing about 2K21 is regular speed boosting is no longer really relevant, I would say. It's more about the speed boost glitch that literally any build can do and any build with any speed and ball handling can do. So to be focusing so much on the speed just for the sake of the ball handling abilities is not exactly too much of a relevant thing anymore. So if you do want to go with the speed and vert pie chart, I could totally understand. And again, I'm kind of just doing this to clarify a lot of things because I understand not a lot of people are going to be making brand new builds in, you know, 2K21 current gen with like a month left until next gen comes out. Either way, this is how I'm going to explain how to make this. So what I did is I upgraded free throw to 60 because, you know, I couldn't get any extra badges anywhere. You can see if you put the +5 into finishing, you don't get anything. Same with the playmaking, don't get anything. However, for those who are ridiculously, like, you know, so enamored with the badges, if you lower the interior defense by 4, you can get 11 playmaking badges. If you're going to be rocking things like dimer and floor general, it is going to be kind of nice to have a couple more playmaking badges because I run quick first step, floor general, and dimer at all times pretty much. And to be able to have more downhill or something like that, or even bailout or needle threader would be kind of nice for the 3v3 aspect. Either way, I don't really think that I would go ahead and just do that and lower my interior defense because I would like to still have it. But either way, body shape, I did built. If you want to do burly or something like that, feel free to. Pretty much, it's all just aesthetics in my opinion. Honestly, some people believe that if you go burly, you set better screens and stuff like that too, but I don't really care. I don't believe in that stuff in the first place. 6'7", again, is what I'm going to go with. 225, aka max on the weight, and you're going to see, again, why would you not do anything other than max the wingspan? And then I picked lock takeover. Some people even question why I went with the lock takeover instead of slash. Again, guys, it's all about what I play and the environment that I play in. I'm playing stage 3v3 all day, every day. Pretty much, I'm never gonna, you know, go on the Park 2s or Park 3s or even for that matter stage 2s anymore. 2v2 in my opinion is just some brain dead BS that I do not want to indulge myself in the first place anyway. And again, maybe it's because of the build that I made. Maybe I'm just, you know, someone who's undersized made where this build can get away with playing the 3 on 3v3 but not quite as much on 2v2. But if you ask me, the way that I built this equals versatility for the 2v2. I can line up at the big man. I can come in there and play point guard and ISO the PGs. And then just like that, I could line up with another big man on my team. Now, granted, that can be exposed, like I said in the videos from a couple days ago, talking about how, you know, the play slash and stuff like that is a little bit less relevant because as soon as they switch a big onto me, it's going to become a whole lot more tough for me to do so. But then if I still have somebody who's capable of running the pick and roll, then you can just kind of hide away from the bigs. Either way, again, lots of versatility that comes with this build. If you want to run this at the 1 on 2v2, it's entirely possible. I play this with the 3 on the 3v3 at all times pretty much, and again, it's a beautiful situation. Now I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys a different variation you can do of this. Again, 6'8" is gonna be a pretty solid thing as well. You're gonna go ahead and max out the weight again, max out the wingspan, just like that. You sacrifice the lateral quickness, perimeter defense, and steal for the block, O board, and D board, and it's honestly like a night and day thing when it comes to those 3 things. You can see not much changes when it comes to the dunking and stuff like that. The physicals definitely change quite a bit. The speed, excel, and vertical all go down by quite a bit, but again, this is all up to preference. A lot of people will go with the 6'8", and even some people make the 6'8", 6'9" paint beast and stuff like that. But again, I'm here to tell you guys, there's literally no point in doing that when you could just get gold floor general and gold dimer. And really, I gotta stress the importance of that gold dimer. When you're getting the pick and rolls and stuff like that, your point guard hits you in the paint, they double team off the corner. Now, instead of being a stupid individual and just trying to dunk on that guy over his head entirely, instead, you're going to pass out to the corner, which you might even do in the first place regardless of having the dimer badge on, but having dimer is going to help your teammate knock down those shots. Simple as that. If you're a selfish individual, you don't care about this stuff. But me personally, because I like to win and I care about winning, I'm doing that. So either way, whatever you want to decide between 6'7" and 6'8", doesn't really matter. It's all up to personal preference, but I would go with the lock takeover if it were me, because that's what I did. If you want to go with the slash takeover, perfectly fine. It's all up to personal preference, whatever you want to decide. Anyway, two-way finisher is the title of this build. If you guys enjoyed the video, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on them noties, all that good stuff. Like I said in the intro, let's try this 1 to 1K likes in the first 24 hours. And real quick, while we're on the topic of negativity, and for anybody who wants to click off the video at this point, feel free to. If you are new and you enjoyed the video though, feel free to sub, all that good stuff. But anyway, I got something I want to get off my chest. So like I said, while we're on the topic of negativity, I gotta talk real quick. A lot of people, they are indulging in this mob mentality, bullying aspect when it comes to my man Chalk, all right? And if anybody out there hates me for supporting somebody like him, you can get out of here. That's how I'm gonna put it, because flat out, I see the real in him. And I'm not gonna go into the details too much. If anybody wants to look into this for themselves, you can 100%. It is what it is. It's on the internet. It's a thing now, all right? But anyway, my whole thing is, everybody in this 2K community, is super negative, super toxic. We all know that in the first place, right? I mean, I don't condone that in the first place. I would like to think my audience and my viewership is a very positive experience, but we do have a lot of debates and stuff like that too, so there are disagreements, but I never feel like it gets too toxic in the first place. But honestly, you'll never know the pain and the true struggle of being a creator and dealing with negativity and dealing with just straight up hate constantly until you're in those shoes. And honestly, I'm not even in those shoes in the first place, so I don't even know what it's like entirely. And I can imagine, however, how negative and how hurtful all those words are and stuff like that too. And I don't condone that in the first place. So for all my supporters out there who are just of this mob mentality, bullying aspect when it comes to like this Chalk situation, or any of these content creators, look, I'm gonna put it like this. A lot of people are envious, jealous. That's what it really comes down to. And a lot of times people see people with like fame and money and stuff like that and assume that words can't hurt them. Nothing can hurt them because flat out they're winning. But it's not always the case. A lot of times what really it comes down to is happiness, man. And if you're not happy and people are trying to take away your happiness, it's a whole lot more hurtful than situations where, you know, you have less money or you have less fame, whatever it may be. Anyway, again, just a couple words of positivity for anybody out there. This is all in the moment, all just in the spurt of really wanting to talk about this stuff. You guys can see it's late. It's late at night. And honestly, I just kind of got in my feelings over that stuff. And honestly, I'm gonna be completely real with you guys. I'm just spilling realness in this end of the video. I've cried plenty of times over this YouTube stuff, whether it's failure, my own failure, dealing with my failures, and my passion that it comes to this stuff. It's been so much more about the money and the fame to me. It's always been about the positivity and obviously spreading the messages and just helping people out in this community too on top of that. Now, don't get me wrong, the money and the like fans, I guess. I don't want to call it the fame because I do appreciate all my viewers and I don't want to call them, you know, like people that help me get my clout, I guess. I appreciate all the fans and stuff like that and my supporters, really, when it comes down to it. But anyway, again, nobody is ever gonna know how much that negativity and that hate hurts somebody until you've been in those shoes. And I can tell you, it's hurtful. It really is. And a lot of the times, the quote-unquote crying that I've done is because of my own failure. It's because flat out I had ambitions, I had dreams, and I let them all die. Flat out like that. I mean, in 2K18, I just let my YouTube channel completely go to waste. And hated myself for it, man. And it was the most negative experience of my life. It was the worst probably year that I've ever encountered in my entire life. And now, honestly, it's been the greatest like 1 or 2 years of my life, the last 2 years since 2K18. So 2K20 and 2K21, they've been amazing. So look, I'm gonna put it like this. I've had tears of joy, I've had tears of pain when it comes to this YouTube stuff. And what I need to realize, and what Chalk needs to realize too, and anybody who deals with hate and anybody who deals with negativity, is you can't let those words affect you to the point where they're winning, pretty much. So anyway, like I said, it's all off the top of the head. Really didn't want to make any cuts with this at the end, but I just had to say what I had to say. This has been on my mind really heavy, and I'd be fake if I weren't stepping up for the people who I think are real, and a lot of the people who come at them are pretty fake, if, in my opinion, as well. So anyway, that's all for the video. If you made it to the real end of the video, put finisher in the comments so it supports me all the way through. Other than that, hope y'all enjoyed, and be positive, man. Take it easy. Peace.